guys, thank you so much for watching last video. I was really struck by all the good comments and the good vibes in the comment section, and also all the private messages on Instagram. To myself, I was like, what the hell are you doing, man? You know, it was just a lot of fun to film it. I'm gonna keep doing it for a while at least, and we'll see where it leads. For me, there is no other better purpose to this, you know, to this experience, to what we're having here on this planet, than just being yourself and becoming a better version of yourself. That's where the fun is. At least for me, the fun is in getting better at things, getting better at music, being around people, learning languages. Anyway, enough with the rant. Thank you so much for being here. Love you all. We're doing carbonara today. Here I am, Italian chef. So ingredients, guys, very simple. You need spaghetti. In this case, we're making bucatini. These are the best quality we could find. Try to find some good Italian quality. Di Martino, Rummo. Don't get like the shitty stuff, please. You're gonna regret it. Then, very important, guanciale. We found this in an Italian shop. One of the most important things you need for the dish. Pecorino, also extremely important. Romano, if you can. We also have some eggs. In this case, we need 3, 4. If it's for more people, maybe 6 eggs. And then just a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano or Grana, whatever you can find. Let's do it. So another thing, before I forget, for the ingredients that you really need is, you need what I call big salt. What I mean is, like, you need salt with chunkier pieces, and you need this for the water. That's very important. So you just, you know, right now the water is almost boiling. You want to pour at least, we have this little measuring thing, right? And we just usually pour 2 or 3 when it's for 2 people. In this case, I'm doing 2.5. I want the pasta to be salted enough. And then you remember to give it a nice little stir so that you're sure that it's spreading out evenly in the water. Boom, that's it. You don't need to worry about this water anymore. You just leave it there, and in the meanwhile you can do the rest of the stuff. So now for the guanciale, the important thing is you want to leave the, we call this the cotenna. You want to leave this out, so you want to cut it out. So, you know, you do what you gotta do. I am not the finest cutter in the world, but I get the job done eventually. So now you try to cut the guanciale no more than this, like 1 centimeter, little cube. So be careful not to make them too chunky. Like, for example, I think this one, I made it a little bit too chunky. And yeah. We're adding a bit of grana to the pecorino so that we can kind of tame down the smell of just, you know, the pecorino, which can be very like harsh, you know. So it's really good, don't get me wrong, you know. I just mean that it can be very salty, and this plate is a very salty plate because the guanciale has a lot of pepper in it, has a lot of like umami to it. The pecorino has a lot of salt and umami to it, so everything has a lot of taste. So we want to try to work to make the flavors go together, otherwise they get a little ruined, you know. I don't know how much we have now. I would say this for 2 people is a really good amount. You see, it's almost as much as this actually. I try to kind of eyeball it. Of course, it's just a choice. And then we wanna add not too much Parmesan, you know, I mean it. You're just putting a little bit of it so that it, when you're eating everything, you have the two smells, kind of the two tastes mixed together. That's gonna be the best. So now, what you want to do is you want to have all of this cheese. You want to have it in a bowl. And we are gonna be, this is gonna be our mixture. Basically what you do is, you pick up the eggs and you carefully try not to get any of the shell in it. And you break them in there. Safety tips, by the way, remember to wash your water if you have some egg on it.
Wash your water.
Remember to wash your hands. Remember to wash your hands. Pick up a fork. Pick up some pepper. In this case we have some black pepper, 5 peppers here. And then you mix it. In this case, as you can see, I used a little bit too much Parmesan and pecorino. It's a little bit too thick. So we're gonna add 1 egg. Basically, you're kind of searching for a type of consistency. You know, it's gonna be your choice what consistency you have it. It's very important that you use some good virgin olive oil. You put it in, you know, with the mix. You're not putting a lot, you know, you're putting, I don't know, one big spoon. So you mix a little bit. So another important thing that you're doing with this is that usually you're putting a little bit of the cooking water in this. And that's it, you know, now you have your own, I think you can see it, she's pretty nice and ready, you know, nice thickness to it. Not too thick, not too watery. You kind of want to have half-half. And now we can go for the pan and our big friends here.
Dancing break.
Alright, so medium flame, right? Not too aggressive. You wait for the pan to get a little, you know, hot. We don't want a cold pan. So now we have to wait.
No one wants a cold pan.
No one wants a cold pan.
3 years later.
So, what we want to do, have just a very little bit of oil in the pan. And yeah, we really want to make sure it's hot enough that when we're putting something in, it's already, it makes a sound, you know. You're searching for a sound that's not too harsh. We're gonna put the guanciale in. It's gonna fry for 10 minutes. The pasta usually takes 10 minutes. So we're gonna put this one in and then we're gonna take care of the pasta. 10 minutes each, and then basically you're ready. You can mix them, I'll show you, and boom, you're eating already. So it doesn't take a very long time, it just takes a little bit of, you know what you have, you know in what sequence you're doing it, and it's like you can do this easily in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It doesn't take a lot. I don't know if you can hear that, but that is what I'm talking about. That's what you're looking for when you're putting them in. You are looking for that sound. You don't want to overcook them. You really don't want to. If you do, they're gonna have too much taste. They're gonna be like very strong, and you don't want that. You want to keep the flavor contained inside of them, if it makes sense. So that's it. We're good with these ones. We can leave them there for a bit. This is boiling. It's coming all over. It's perfect. We're gonna do pasta. Remember, I already salted the water. So what I usually do for 2 people is I do half a, what is this? It's a 500 gram case, package, whatever you want to call it. You take half of it. Take half of it in your hand, like this, and you want to just put it like this, and you drop it in there. Now, you wait a second or two. It doesn't take a lot, and they start to be kind of bendable already a little bit. So you give them a little nudge. This is the funniest part about making spaghetti or bucatini, or in general any type of like long pasta. It's so funny. Yeah, you just, there you go. See what you do. I can literally twist them with my hand, you know, until you can eventually make all of them go in. Come here, I'll show you. This is how what you end up with. You end up with this kind of like super funny, like it goes on the sides. You see? There you go. So that's it. Mix them a little bit again so that they go a little bit everywhere. They take their place organically. And boom, that's it. You're waiting 10 minutes for these bad boys. These are started to smell really nicely in the meanwhile. I wish you could taste this.
I agree.
So here we're getting to a point where I'm noticing that it's getting a little too hot. So I'm turning it a little down. It's hard to balance, so really be on it. Especially if you're not a super skilled chef. Like I'm not a super skilled chef. So yes, that's it. You know, you give them a little nudge, tame down the flame. Now we just leave them there. Wait for these to come up. 5 hours later. Yeah. So now we're kind of like at a mid stage, and you see, you wanna, don't forget to keep, you know, every 2 or 3 minutes to move them around a little bit. You don't want them to stick to the pan. In the meanwhile, this is the sound we're looking for. They're just sizzling. They smell really good. They're coming up really nicely. I am kind of dying here actually. I really want to eat now. I'm getting really hungry. Oh, another important thing. Get some bread, guys. Get some good bread. It's gonna be really nice at the end of when you're finished eating, that you have some bread to like clean up the plate. We call this scarpetta. It's an essential. It's an essential. It's very important. You should try it. There's another good tip. Instead of just wasting time, you could instead start packing up everything for later. So you don't have to, you don't have to spend as much time cleaning and putting things back when you would be, after eating. Which after this, you're gonna be on the couch like, oh my god, I'm dying. So, just the less we have to do after, the better. Now, another little trick that you can do is that right before you serve the guanciale, is you take a little spoonful of water, you just chuck it in. But you're doing this really at the very end of this process, when you're about to mix everything, because by adding water, salty water, this is the water from the pasta, by the way, very important. By adding this salty water, what you're doing is you're kind of like putting the tastes together. So that's another very important thing. So when you're starting to get close to the, to the time when the spaghetti or the bucatini, in this case, have decided to, the time that the package told you, like 10 minutes. Try to around 8 minutes or 9 minutes to always taste them. Like in this case, they're ready. You want to have them al dente. It's important that you have them al dente also because you're gonna mix everything, so they're gonna kind of keep cooking a little bit in the meanwhile, So in reality, you're still giving them those 10 minutes that they need. It's just that not all of those 10 minutes are inside the pot. Give it a nice shake. And then we are throwing them in. And we want to add the eggs in. And now this is very important. This is where you need to be fast. You don't want the eggs to cook. This is it. This is what you want. This is the consistency you want to obtain. Now put it somewhere else. There you go. Carbonara served for you and your loved ones. Smells amazing.
I always look so scared when I'm looking at myself. I see that my eyes are just like, oh.
Okay. Buon appetito.